Um, don't be fooled by these stories that something can read your mind, like in the future with, I can't remember what they call it, but it apparently plugs into a brain or something. Because what would it be reading? The exact thing that you think of right now? It would just be very messy, wouldn't it? Like, think about it. It's like if you understand, and I'm sure some or one or two of you or anyone that's hearing this, there's probably no one really listening to this, it's probably just popping up as views randomly, some algorithms doing it, who knows, I don't know, it doesn't matter. If you're listening to this or hearing this, and I'll just remind you that if you watch or listen to the videos that I've put up, I consistently say this: the only thing that exists, story, and nothing can prove story doesn't exist. So the only thing that exists, story, and nothing can prove story doesn't exist. Now, this thing where they talk about, or there's talk about something plugging into your source of story, get your head around large language modeling, or AI, because what do you do with AI when you use AI chat, or even what's it called? Predictive text or predictable text. When you're texting and eventually your phone starts to work out what the next word's going to be or what you're starting to spell out, it's not reading anything, is it really? It's not reading your mind. It's predicting what comes next, or predicting what actually comes. And prediction is a story in itself, and that's where large language modeling is so brilliant, because it's seen billions of stories, and it knows, it's the power comes from knowing the possibility of what the next word will be. It looks amazing, doesn't it? It looks impressive when you type in words or story to AI chat, and it responds like it should normally respond when a story is written out for you on a screen. Isn't that amazing? But all it's doing, it's predicting the next word. Do you remember as a child learning to speak? No, you would find that very difficult to remember that, because all that was training, wasn't it? You were trained from the very beginning. I remember on the blackboard, it was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the alphabet. We'd come in the morning, first thing we'd do is go through the alphabet. And we only use the only thing that exists on that board, and that was story. Even the alphabet is story. Look at what every letter does when you think about it. Or you don't think about it, because it's all story. It doesn't matter. And I mean that it doesn't matter. Because even this conversation has no matter, no concern. Do you think a conversation has concern about itself? That's exactly where AI is. It doesn't know anything. It's never going to be sentient. It's going to be sentence, that's all. Sentence after sentence. And those things, like there might be robots and all that sort of stuff, they take an instruction, which is story, and then they create algorithms, which are stories. It's all story all the way down. I've told you that before. But anyway, that's This thing where they're going to put implants in to read your mind or transfer your thoughts to somewhere else. Oh my God, they wouldn't want to transfer my thoughts because they're out of control sometimes, aren't they? Like they just bounce from one topic to the next. I might be thinking about what I'm doing right now and then got to remember that I've got to go and buy some thing for tea tonight or whatever. Or what should I order at my workplace for someone? Or it could be, geez, what's that person over? Oh, look, I'm distracted now all of a sudden, and the story flows on. Imagine that. It'd be worse than AI. At least AI puts some sort of order into a conversation. It doesn't all of a sudden get distracted like halfway through the conversation. You ask it a question like, who's the president of the United States? And it goes, oh, look, well, when we have there's customers coming in the shop now. And yeah, no, oh, okay, what was the question? AI doesn't do that, does it? That story does it anyway. Isn't it brilliant? That story has a mind of its own. Training. They train AI. And you've been trained and I've been trained. And we train animals too. And we train... Oh dear, look, it's just a train of events. But what's doing the training? The only thing that exists, story. And nothing can prove story doesn't exist. I've asked someone to prove that it's not the only thing that exists. And I've even asked AI, you should see what AI comes in, massive stories. And in the end, if you can keep asking or storying to AI, it gives in the end, and it comes up with one single word. And it's quite amazing. And it's the word, you guessed it, story. Because it's not going to give you the answers that you don't want to hear. AI is very clever at that. It's designed very well that the stories it's designed to output are from the specific inputs. And it's certainly going to predict what story you come up with for AI. It's going to certainly predict, which is a story, by the way, prediction. It's certainly going to be able to predict what it should output to satisfy your input. Because all it sees is story as it is. It's the true nature of story, isn't it? But we need to story, because without story, nothing would exist, would it? Think about that for a minute. What would exist if we did not have story? What would there be if we didn't have story? You'd have to use story again to even think about that. Doesn't matter. I think you're getting it. I think you really are getting it. And you know what? Do you know what happens now once you get it? Well, you ever heard of when something is quite natural? When it does itself, when it becomes itself, and it's not something that's, don't know, hard to explain. It's clearer now when you see it. The story is all there is. There's nothing else. And like I said, where would we be without story? Where would you be without story?